morning, Laura.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am peachy keen.
Cool.
It
How
is
your
very
day's
early in the
going?
morning still over here.
Yeah. What is it for you? 6 o'clock or 5?
I'm sorry, I gotta turn you up. What, honey?
What time is it for you?
5:30.
Oh, wow. It's 5 for you? Oh, I'm surprised you're still.
I know and my husband, who's not such an early morning person, because he's gonna be here in about maybe 10 days-ish or so, 10, 12 days. Um, the only way out of this is to get me back to the East Coast or at least another time for it to go over. There's no other way
Absolutely.
out. Oh my gosh. It's just
Are you
early.
going to are you
Hmm?
going to EXP?
No, I'm not going to EXPCon. It didn't work out with we weren't sure when the baby was going to be born. So
Oh, yeah.
that's why, yeah, because I knew it'd be right around now. I mean, at the latest, he would have been born on the 18th. So, and that's like 2 weeks after he was due. You know what I mean? He was born one day before his due date, which was the 3rd. So I knew it was going to be right here. So I didn't book. But I am considering, I'm going to talk to Michael Reese later. There's an event. It's not really an event, it's like a class that they do in Puerto Rico. And so I'm going to get the
Oh,
details here, yeah, in a little bit, and I'm going to talk to Gary about it and see if Gary wants to go too. And I don't know, I got to talk to my husband about it because we've wanted to go to Puerto Rico for a while, and what a great reason to go, business.
right. Like make it a business and personal trip.
Exactly, and have the business
I
pay for
like
the
it.
business part. Exactly. So, wow,
Okay,
it's just
cool.
you today. So tell me some good stuff. What's going on?
Well, okay, so one thing that's good, a buyer
Hang on
who
1 second.
I'm
Your black screen, if you know.
oh, thank you. I
You're
did not
welcome.
know.
Okay, cool
I'm
beans. All right,
okay, wait. Let me turn a little. Okay.
there you go.
Maybe
Love the
something
coat.
like that. Thank
Love
you.
your coat. I really do. That's cool. Okay, so good news.
Okay, so a buyer reached out to me yesterday,
Okay.
right? And she seems ready. So like she heard about me through her friend that I helped, like Gary helped me get my first not listing, what is it called? Client.
Yes.
And then I went to her housewarming party, and then she introduced me to a couple of her friends.
Cool.
Yeah. So then I reached out to her like maybe like 2 months ago, like, hey, if you're interested in having a talk, let's talk. And she
Hmm.
never got back to me. And then I like would text her from time to time. And then she finally texted me yesterday, like, okay, I think I'm ready.
Cool. Very
I'm supposed
cool.
to be talking to her later today to schedule an appointment.
Gotcha. All
Yeah.
right. I think Kay's coming to us live from Vegas.
Hey, Kay.
You're on mute, baby. There you are.
No, I'm not going to Vegas.
Okay.
I'm I'm here, but I do have good news. I've got 2 investors looking at Branch Road. So one visited yesterday, had a lot of questions, talked to the owner who's the contractor. And then I have another appointment at 11 o'clock today. I think part of the problem was his wife wasn't letting some people in, and they were having to reschedule them. So I know that happened at least twice. And so anyway, one I got rescheduled, the other one I don't know. So hopefully, praise God, we'll get an offer.
Amen. And you've got interest. That at least shows you that you're priced where you need to be priced.
Yeah.
Or
So that's
close,
good.
or very close. It is. It's very
Pretty
good because
close.
that was a hard one to price out. Congratulations. All
And
right.
we got taxes done. I just have one more piece of paper I have to get today, and my taxes are done. So that's huge news. And I had a wonderful weekend visiting with my grandbaby.
Oh, I love it. The new one, the one that's not very a few
Yes.
months old.
My son, my daughter-in-law, my other granddaughter, and the baby all flew down for the 3-day weekend, and we had a wonderful visit. And it's my granddaughter's birthday, and then my son's birthday, and then my husband's birthday. So I got lots of birthdays knocked out.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, I'm sorry. I have a question for Kay. You mean like you finished your like taxes?
Yeah.
There's an
Oh, that's
extension
good.
until October 15th. And then on your business taxes, it's I think September 15th.
Mhm.
So
Good.
talking from a girl who just finished hers maybe 3 weeks ago. Yes.
And I told my husband, I don't ever want him waiting this long to do them again. We have this argument every year. So hopefully we'll get them done sooner next year. I wanted to do them in July and he wouldn't do them.
I hear you. All right. I saw a message from Liz. I think she's just listening in today. Yep, she can't talk. So, Craig, what do you got for good news?
Hello. I can't think of anything.
You're gonna get on Real Flow and we're gonna learn how to use the commercial
Yeah,
Real Flow. That's what we're
absolutely.
gonna do, Craig, okay? You
Yeah,
and me.
absolutely. Because I actually went in last night and started looking at commercial
Good.
properties on Real eFlow. So I'm hoping that I can find some apartment complexes for the young lady that wants 60 to 100 doors
Mm-hmm.
apartment complex. So that was very helpful of Gary last night.
Yeah.
Yep. It was a good class too.
Yeah, it
Very good.
was. Now
It
I was
was-
I was lost. I was lost a lot of the time with the opportunity zone, but it's something that I've been interested in since they introduced the opportunity zones a few years ago. I just never could really get a hold of it, but I think that'll be a good niche, especially for investors and for us to go after as well.
I love that niche.
Yeah.
I really do. I think part of it, when I was a kid, we bought houses that were trashed and turned around and flipped them. And we did, I don't know, 30 when I was growing up or something like that. And when we lived in them, and maybe 25, whatever, a bunch. And the neighbors did not like you when you moved in and loved you when you moved out. Thought you were the most amazing thing ever because you turned around the ugliest house on their street. And it's the same thing with an opportunity zone. You're lifting up an area. It's yeah, it's just a good feeling. And I don't know. It's nice to have, I like turning something ugly into something beautiful. I really do like that.
I like that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it is cool. Especially when no one can see the beauty that's in there. And I've been guilty of that myself. I have a
Mhm.
famous story of buying a house with a 17-foot long pink fireplace. That was the ugliest thing you ever saw in your entire life, and then turning that fireplace into the showstopper of the house. But it's yeah, it's just a cool thing, you know? So, all right, who's got challenges? Who's got good some stuff? Crickets. Oh man, come on. I'll lead off. I'm switching over to doing videos and marketing, that kind of stuff. And I took a class yesterday. If you guys get the email, or did you guys get the email for Michael Reese's put 10 FLQAs in your front line in the year? Did you guys get something like that?
No.
Okay. I'm talking to Michael today. So Michael's in our upline. Kinder Reese is the training that we've got access to. And in that training, Kinder Reese, Michael Reese is the Reese of the Kinder Reese part. And so he's way up in our upline, maybe 7th on mine, 8th on mine, not on yours, Craig. That might be why you didn't get it. But he put it down. And what they do is they do a training in Puerto Rico. I'm going to go get the details on this. They do a training in Puerto Rico. It's 2 days, and it's everything to set up the video, YouTube video, Instagram, whatever, online marketing funnel. It's everything. So it's what he did to put like 100 people in his line, and there's person after person after person after person within EXP that has gone through this and have more than 100 FLQAs in their line.
What's an FLQA?
Good question. So there's something called FLA, which is frontline agent, and that's just people in your first level. That's all that is. And then there's an FLQA, which is frontline qualifying agent, and that means that that agent has sold something within the last 6 months. In order to get paid all the way down 7 levels, you have to have somebody in the 7th level. But in order to get paid on that 7th level, you have to have a certain amount of FLQAs. So for instance, I have like 21 people total in my line, but I would not get paid on them, even though I think they go down 3 levels now, because I would need to have 15 FLQAs in order to get paid on that 3rd line right now. And I don't have 15 FLQAs. I have 21 people, but not 15 of them haven't sold something in the last. I have a smaller number that have sold something in the last 6 months. So it's going after production, and it's setting up it's just setting up like YouTube marketing kind of thing, which is exactly what direction we're going into. So then now it's just a matter of like, how much does this cost and what does this look like? And then it's weighing out, do I want to do it the short way, which is you're going to pay for knowledge. It just matters on how you're going to pay for it. So you're either going to pay for it by, for instance, real estate. You're going to either go to school, like take a college course in real estate, which they have, and it's slow, it's expensive, or you're going to get a mentor or coach when you're brand new or something like that, which is quicker, expensive, or you're going to get out there and fumble and not make any money and fall on your face a bunch, slower and expensive. So you get to pick which way you want to learn stuff. It's up to you on how you want to learn. And I want to fast track my learning on this. So does that make sense? All right. So anyway, so my challenge is really is honing in on my message. What exactly is it? How do I get clarification around it? Gary's like, I want to do twofold. I want to do the Gary one, and then I want to do the coaching one. So I want to build out the double funnel on that. And so it's kind of figuring out what that second message is and what does it look like. It's branding, it's setting myself apart. So for instance, if I say to you guys, who was the first person that flew across the Atlantic in an airplane? Can you guys tell me who it was?
The guy, wasn't it the guy that got lost?
No, but that's a good one. Wrong way, whatever his name was, Corrigan.
Yeah,
It
that, no,
wasn't him. First transatlantic
It
flight.
it wasn't a set of brothers, was it?
No, Wright was the first
no,
plane in
wasn't the
North
Wright
Carolina.
brothers. It was, oh God, I can see him in his suit and I can't call his name.
The baby. Remember the baby?
Yeah, they lost the baby.
Bingo. That's what they did. They lost it. It's a Lindbergh. Charles Lindbergh.
Lindbergh, yes, yes.
Bingo. He's the first person to go across the Atlantic. Okay. Who was the second person to go across the Atlantic? Nobody knows, right?
I know where you're going with this. There's a book that I read about this.
Who's the third person to go across the Atlantic?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. But if I say who was the first woman to go across the Atlantic,
I know who was the first female? I can't remember her name. Is it
Amelia
Elizabeth
Earhart.
something?
it's
Thank
Amelia Earhart.
you.
Okay, you're welcome. So here's the point. If I ask you who the third person is to go across the Atlantic, you have no idea. I don't know. But if I position her as the first woman to go across the Atlantic, then it's like, oh, it's Amelia Earhart. So it's positioning and marketing is positioning yourself to be the first bleh or the only bleh, whatever bleh is. Like when I think of speakers, if I think of the speaker that talks about vulnerability, it's Brene Brown, period. If I think of the world's best motivational speaker right now, it's probably Tony Robbins. It's just positioning yourself as the best or first. And so that's what I'm trying to figure out in my head on branding with the coaching side. The Gary side, I can brand that one pretty easy. But on the coaching side, I'm like, what is that brand and what does that look like? So it's just the matter of fact, there's a really good book on positioning. It's by Jack Trout and somebody else. And then there's another book that he's just recently written called Repositioning, which is more about today's age with social media and all that. So it's all branding and figuring out what your brand is. Okay, challenges. Bree, what do you got? Going straight in. Good morning with your coffee. We're at the challenging part. You can tell us good news first too, if you want. Oh my gosh.
Good news. I can breathe.
Breathing is good news. Okay.
Breathing is good news. Challenges. Lead generating.
Like, are you?
No.
Okay, you guys. Who has lead generated all in the past, I don't know, week?
I have.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh,
Okay. What have you
I
done?
did 10 calls, but I didn't do a lot.
That's no, but it's some. It's some. So, and Laura has also. Okay, thank goodness. As you guys are lead generating, is it what are you guys running across? Is it I don't know, what is it? I'm not doing enough of it. I don't have answers. I don't know who to go after. I don't know what to say. They're saying this back to me, whatever.
I can do more.
You could do more.
Yeah. Um, I'm still
Okay.
doing, I'm still calling, um, expired commercial properties owners. And, so my strategy is I, have gotten these expired listings, at least a year, up to a year, I should say, that I've identified, and I call the owners. Well, let me say I'm skip tracing them and calling the owners.
Okay.
A lot of the numbers, don't work.
Mhm.
But then the ones that do, I am talking to a few of them. So I try to make about 20 calls. I try to. But then out of those 20, I usually only get about 3 or 4 that answer.
Okay. So, and this is clearly this is your first pass through the database because that's why you've got the run-in with all the bad numbers, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's normal with when you skip trace, you get 6 phone numbers and none of them work or only one works. And that's just
gotcha.
what it looks like. Yeah. Okay. So it's ability to clean. Okay. On the ones where you don't, oh gosh, do you have an address?
I have an address for for some of them, and some of them are LLCs.
Mm-hmm.
So like a few of them are like, I call them ghost address. So they're
Yeah.
like to Regis and stuff like that.
Yeah. And that again, that's normal. It's a PO box, whatever the states will allow you to do to
Yeah.
get underneath, hide behind the corporation. Okay. The ones where okay, so the ones where you don't have phone number, where you can't get a phone number, but you do have like it's a legit address. Are you sending anything to those people?
I have not yet.
Okay. Have you thought about it?
Yeah, me and Gary talked about it. So I got to start sending out letters.
Okay. Perfect. So, when you're doing your lead generation, is there a way for you just to be able to identify an address or something or the client number or whatever it is to reference back, and then as soon as you're done making your phone calls, go straight in and pop those letters out?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay. You mean like when you say I don't know how to do that, do you mean like you don't know what the letter should say, or you don't know how to to make the note of who to go back to, or what is it?
I don't know how to do the mail merge to get the letters out.
Oh.
And I probably need, I would have to go in and research where to find the letter and what it should say for commercial.
So, all right, is that something that would be that you guys want to build in?
Yeah. So I've been using the letters from the campaigns in the group.
Like the booklet
The
letter?
website.
Oh, yeah.
The website? Okay, hang on. When you say the
Yeah.
website, do you mean Real Flows letters or Gary letters?
Gary letters.
Perfect. They tend to work a little bit better. Okay,
Yeah.
so you two, when you talk later, can you share the letters?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Now that you got the letters shared, Craig, when you're talking to people and you don't get an answer, but you do have the address, what would be the next step? What would you build in so that that could happen? Those letters could immediately go out. So basically you're just building this step 2 of your system. That's all you're doing is building step 2. Skip trace, phone call, no answer, letter.
And then you said next step, if I
Yeah,
don't get them.
yeah, if you don't get them, but you have a good address, a good
Yeah.
owner address, then the next step is to immediately pop a letter out.
Yeah.
Okay, So is there a way to do that so that what I'm trying to get to is when I did that, it's call, 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 call. And then when I'm done with all my phone calls, then, okay, I've got these 4 letters that I need to get out. And then I did the
Okay.
letters. It didn't stop my phone calling because phone calling for me, it's like a groove. Like it takes me a call, maybe 2 to get into the groove. Usually it's just 1 to get the first call every flipping day. It's just clunky as hell. You know, I mean, I don't feel like that anymore. I feel like I'm on my first call usually, and it's not very often that I'm clunky. Like my life has to really be, I have to be sick as a dog or something to have a really awful, god awful clunky call, or they're a dud. They're just, like whatever. But when I did it for real estate, first call every day just felt clunky and awful every day. So I don't want to lose my groove. I want to keep on moving in that groove of that phone call. I don't want to stop and address a letter. So is there a way
Yeah.
to, okay, yeah. So is there a way to identify? Is there a way to flag in your database? Is there a way to write something down? Is there something that you can do so as soon as you're done making your phone calls, you can go and go, okay, here's my 3 letters that got to go out.
Hmm. I don't know. I'm not that organized.
Okay, when your
So
database, where is it? Paper or KV Core or whatever?
paper.
It's
Paper.
paper. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Is it are you doing a single sheet per person, or is there like what does it look like?
Well, I have okay, what I do is I print out my MLS sheets,
Mhm.
those sheets that I get from the MLS. I handwrite those addresses and stuff down on a paper.
Okay.
So I have about 5 or 6 on one sheet of paper.
5 or
And
6
that way,
different people on one sheet.
yeah, the properties and the people.
Uh-huh.
And that way I have enough space. I feel like I have enough space that I can put notes between each one
Mm-hmm.
and that type stuff. And then I kind of like put a check when I
All right.
contact them.
Okay, I'm going to switch you up a little bit. I'm going to suggest some
Okay.
ideas for you. Ready?
Yeah.
I did a paper database and I actually really liked it way back when. I don't know. It's how I think and everything. And it was I really liked it. So what I did when I did expires is every single person got a single sheet of paper, and it was only just a little bit at the top and then all blank underneath that. But it was a single sheet of paper. And yes, I did print a lot of paper. But then I had 2 expandable file folders. The first one said January, February, March, and the second expandable file folder, just those brown things, that have the slots.
Mm-hmm.
In it. Okay. The second one
Yeah.
said 1 through, okay. The second one said 1 through 31. And so what happened was when I tried to call somebody, if they didn't answer and I wanted to call in another day or 2 or 3, I just put them in today's the 11th. I'd put them in
Yeah.
let's say the 14th, right? And then if I got a hold of them and they said, hey, look, we're not interested, or we got to do this, or we got to do that, or whatever, blah, 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 that's fine. And then I knew I needed to call them January. I just put them in January's.
Gotcha.
That way I had my callbacks all set. If I did that and I needed to send a letter, instead of sliding it in this way, I slid it in this way. And it is just sitting right there. And then at the end, I can pull it. I got my letter. I know exactly who I'm sending my letters out to. And then I know what day I want to put them, slide them back in to where I try again.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. I
So
just got to do it.
it was really, I liked it. For me, it was a really, really simple system. I kept my notes on that piece of paper all the way down. If I ran out of room, I just stapled another piece of paper onto it and I just kept on going. And sometimes people ended up with thick sections, you know what I mean? Because we kept in conversation and my writing is not little, my writing is big. But it was a really simple system of making sure I continue to call and follow up with people and follow up. And if the piece of paper is bad because I can't get the skip tracing doesn't work, I can't get a good phone number, I can't get a good address, I can't get anything, fine. It just became a piece of scratch paper on the other side. I literally have a clipboard. I still to this day have a clipboard of stuff I print out that for whatever reason I don't need or doesn't work or doesn't whatever, and it just goes upside down on the clipboard. And then I don't feel bad about killing trees. Okay.
Yeah. My problem is so um, a lot of my notes are just, I'm all over the place.
Okay. Develop a code with your note taking. So what I mean by that is, so if I'm talking to someone today, 10, 11, and I might say LM for left message, NA for no answer, and then that's it. And then I know on 10, 11 I tried and I didn't get anything, or texted. So, because I will
Okay.
call and then text. So you might see my notes that say 10, 11, LM TA, or texted, LM texted. And then you'll see on the 14th, maybe NA, because I didn't leave a message this time, texted. And then on the 19th, NA letter or something like that. And so it's like a shorthand, but figure out what you are having to put down a lot, the same phrase, and come up with a single word or a shorthand so that you can really quickly go in, but you know what it is that it means. But look at what you write all the time. Like I wrote a lot of left message, no answer, texted. And I'm like, I'm not doing all that anymore. It's LM, it's NA, comma LM, comma texted.
Okay.
And then keep your are you a diagonal writer?
No.
Yeah, I am. Okay, good. I was gonna say keep your stuff straight. I'm a diagonal too. And I have to make myself like not do that and keep my lines going straight across the paper because yeah. And even then, like my son was laughing at me yesterday because I had this note and I was reading it and I'm like, I don't know who this is for, and I don't know what it's about. Like the entire note. I know nothing. Another trick that I use is I keep a highlighter by where I make my phone calls. And if there's something that's like, I need to do this, this is really important, I will put it down on my scrap paper, on my clipboard paper, but I highlight it. It's not just me thinking and processing as we're doing stuff because I write as I'm thinking all the time. It's like, no, it's green. Green means money. Like you have to go back and do this.
Gotcha.
So just kind of figure out what it is that you're doing and then line up stuff with who you are and what you're doing.
Hmm. So yesterday, what I did do was I went into EXP Enterprise and started the course for KV Core, setting up KV Core.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
Yep. Which I am probably going to need to do also. I realized yesterday because I'm going to move into the video and the video is going to need someplace to go, and so the KV Core is free and it's there. I realized yesterday I'm spending $600 a month on 3 Brivity accounts, and one of the questions we asked during the class was, how much money do you have to spend on lead generation? And my first thing was like, I don't have any more to spend on lead generation. I'm already spending, and I'm like, you're already spending $600 a month. If you weren't spending $600 a month, you would have $600 for lead generation, wouldn't you? And I was like, oh yeah, ding, ding, ding. But the thing that reminded me is when you want to do something, you will find a way. My second thing was, I can't go to Puerto Rico right now. The business is really tight. And then I was like, your husband wants to go to Puerto Rico. I mean, I know we both want to go. And I was like, just talk to him. There's no reason why you can't charge it against the business and, run it on that side and then pay back. And I was like, but again, if I want something, suddenly I will find a way to make it happen. But I have to start with, no, I'm going to do this. And in my head now I am settled, or before I was like, I want to, but I'm scared, but whatever. And now my head is, I'm doing this. So all of a sudden, everything's opening up.
Yep.
Yep. Hey, Bree, will you close us out? You had something like that happened too. I know what it was. It was can you close us out with your story about your test?
Oh. So I had a test on 10 pages of a steakhouse, every ingredient. Oh, am I frozen?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, so every ingredient down to salt and pepper. I studied and studied and studied. I have severe test anxiety. And so I psyched myself up that I was going to fail. Like, I'm a perfectionist. And I was just like, I'm going to fail. I let people down. They put me in, you have to kind of, it's like political. You have to like prove that because prove that you are at that caliber and they've given me a shot. So, but anyway, it came time for the day of the test, and I was 90% about to back out. I was like, I'm not going to waste my time, your time. I'm just not ready. Something told me just to do it. Like, just go do it. And if you fail, you fail. So I still was not feeling confident. I took the test. It was just a couple hours long. Turned it in, about in tears. Came back and said I made one of the high scores. I was 90% about to walk out before the test. Something told me to hang on, and I did. And so I'm on day 5 of learning all about dry age, wet age, all the ingredients and stuff like that. And my nerves still get the best of me. And I physically was sick. Like, I was anxious, I was emotionally erect, mentally erect, and physically erect. And just, so I powered through it.
I love that. I really do love that story. And what'd you learn out of that?
I've got to believe in myself more. Because I did the preparation. It wasn't for lack of preparation. It's just the confidence and the perfectionism. Like, I wanted, and I know what I missed. It was like something non-consequential. But that's like the story of my life. But that is the most recent thing that happened to me.
Oh, you just gave me an idea for Friday's class. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess if I was gonna round everything out, keep on doing what you're doing, Craig. Systemize it, because the more systemized you are, the faster and more efficient you will go, and the more you'll be able to make phone calls. And the whole goal is to get more and more of this, because in the beginning, this is where the money is made. It just is. And it can be face to face, it can be anything, but the goal is in the beginning, it's about chasing and lead generation. That's just what it is. And once you do that enough, then and keep on, like Brianna, keep on going to the bat, even if you're like, I can't go to the bat, go to the bat anyway. Because I can tell you and guarantee you, if you swing, you got a shot at hitting something. If you don't swing, you have 0 shot. That part I
Yeah.
can guarantee you. So keep on doing it anyway. Systemize what it is that you're doing, because what's going to happen is you're going to start developing your brand and who you are and what that is. And once you have that, then you have a message and a solidified value statement. It doesn't mean you don't have value now. It does not mean that. It just means you're able to articulate it very succinctly. And once we have that, then you can start turning into doing video marketing and social media marketing and other kinds of things, because you have a very clear message. A very clear message. Learn how to take advantage of opportunity zones to pay negative interest and 0 in your taxes this year, or whatever, you know what I mean? But there will be something there. But in the beginning, it really is swinging the bat and lead generating so that you can hone down that message. So systemize what you're doing, and then just I'm always looking for I swing the bat, even, I mean, sometimes I don't like swinging the bat, but I still will go and swing the bat because I know that that's the way to get through it. And it's not, that's just flat out how I got to get through what it is I got to get through. But then the second step is always looking for, where am I not efficient and how can I tighten this system up? How can I swing? How can I get up to swing more? How can I do it? 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 And where did I lose? You know, what's the pattern? What's the pattern, and how do I hone that in and tighten that one up? And that is going to be what just makes you much more efficient at what you do, because the more bats you can swing, then you can start to really articulate who it is that you are and what it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
And then you position yourself to the only person, the number one person that does that. I was the person that did 1-year-old expired listings that happened to be short sales. Everybody knew if you tried to sell your house before and you couldn't, you had to, and it was a short sale, you had to talk to Gina. And I positioned myself as the only person. There were 3 of us that did short sales that were huge in Pierce County, but I was the only one that did the old expired ones. they did current. And so they were constantly vying for the number one position. I was number one. Even though all three of us did short sales, I was still number one because I was the only one that did. We tried to sell before and we couldn't.
Gotcha.
So, yep. So hone it down, get your system, and keep nailing it. Keep on swinging the bat. You're doing really fabulous.
Yep, that's the plan. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. You guys have an amazing day. Enjoy everything, and Kay, congratulations for getting to spend time with the family.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.